I, grew up in Colorado Springs, Colorado, at a Nazarene church there, and I attended summer camp at Golden Bell in Colorado there, and decided at a summer camp in high school that I was called to ministry, and so wasn't sure what I was going to do. I was unsure of what college was really like, and none of my family had ever really gone to college or finished, so I knew NNU was going to be the school for me. So I packed up everything in my car one day and just drove up here and settled in and decided to enroll in the summer of 1997. Being a first-generation Hispanic student, I wasn't really sure what I was going to be in for. I was surprised at just the love and the sharing and caring that NNU offered me from all of their employees, their staff, their faculty, and the people that I met even at the church I went to here in Nampa at the time, and just felt really loved and cared for, and that's what really helped me to lock myself into NNU. So I was attending Nampa First Church of the Nazarene, and my wife was serving there, working with the youth ministry, and so we started out just as a great friendship, and then eventually started dating and got married. And she was from Eastern Washington, a small town called Othello, and so we began dating and then got married and had 3 kids. And at that point I had finished my degree and was enrolled in the MBA program, and was working for a company in Boise doing really well financially, and thought that things were going great, and realized that my call to ministry was not being fulfilled still. So at that point I left the business sector and decided to go into full-time ministry, and that's when I and my wife and I, she's also called to ministry, decided that we would serve here at Canyon Hill Church of the Nazarene in Caldwell, and we've been here since 2002. So, coming to NNU in the late 90s, I was one of only a few Hispanic students that was enrolled at NNU at the time. And so, I am very outgoing and met a lot of people and had a lot of friends. And so, everyone, like I said, was very loving and accepting at NNU. I think that, there were times where in the community of Nampa where, one time I was working at a church helping out, and as I was leaving one night, the police approached me, and they had some reports of somebody who was stealing stereos, and they fit my description. And so I was questioned by the police as I was leaving the church, and they really didn't believe my story, that I was leaving the church, that I had just locked up the building, and so it became somewhat confrontational. And luckily I had all my teens from my youth group sitting in the church van, and the police didn't see them at the time, and once I pointed that out to them, then they believed my story. But had it not been for those teens in that van, I'm not sure what would have happened, but it was kind of a scary situation. I was doing nothing wrong, and so to go through that felt it was a bad point for me. I wasn't angry about it. I was upset about it, but getting angry and being defensive and resorting to those types of reactions don't necessarily help the situation. So, over time in my life, I faced different things similar to that, from people who just don't understand, or they don't know even how to be around somebody who might be Hispanic. And so, over time I just try to be as friendly and hospitable as I can. I know that if I become violent or angry, it's not going to help. So over time, I face different things like that. Not too often, but there's times where I've been pulled over and questioned, or I've randomly been selected to be searched at an airport, and really, the people next to me may not have faced those similar types of situations. But in the end, I actually serve now as a a chaplain with the state police, and so I love that. It fulfills a lot of my calling as a minister in helping people and also in helping the police officers. I know that I see both sides of these issues and of these situations, and so for me, I felt like serving with the state police and just being around those officers and helping them just to see who I am and how I am involved and how I react to situations can really create relationships and benefits for both sides for myself and for the police, and also while helping the community. And so I feel like I have come a long ways in extending grace and love to everyone, even if they aren't sure how to react to me. I don't consider myself someone who is constantly being bullied or constantly being just looked at in a different way. I try to just befriend everybody and share my stories and who I am, and I have nothing but love for everyone. So whether they're law enforcement or other people, I can identify with what's happened in my own life and try to build on that rather than tear others down or resort to violence and just anger, because it would be easy to do that, and I don't want to become that person. I talked a little bit about my experience outside of NNU, but even at NNU as an employee, there's been times where other employees thought that I worked for a vendor, or they make an off-the-cuff comment like, oh, we thought you worked for this organization, you kind of all look the same. And so, to hear those things from an NNU employee is not a great experience, but I just simply talk to that person and explain, I am an employee of NNU, and we don't all look the same. The best way I have felt to help resolve some of these situations is just to extend grace, help people understand, talk it through. I try not to get defensive or angry, because that just puts other people on their defense. So that's helped a lot, and I think as far as advocating for change, I've been very happy that President Pearsall has put together a task force of different people across campus, many of which are minorities that serve in different roles, whether they're faculty or staff. And we've come together and begin to talk about our stories, but also to talk about how we can improve and educate different offices and areas of campus where they're not intentionally doing something wrong. They may not even be aware, but we're just trying to help put together some ideas and recognize that we can help others by educating everyone about how to interact and how to react to people of color or minorities.